My name is Finn and I do music, and my music name is Ultre, and that's what I do.
My name's Matt and I'm 1/3 of the video collective Flatty.
Okay, and what are you going to be doing tonight, Matt?
We're going to be doing visuals for a few of the artists that are tonight, and I'll be doing a sort of one-off live AV project with Finn, who's Ultre.
Okay, Finn.
And I'm going to be playing my own music and playing and sampling an instrument I made.
And tell me more about this instrument.
It looks like a bow and arrow, and it maybe sounds a bit like a distorted cello. And I made it about 3 years ago with a friend of mine. I'm still yet to be in contact with after about 3 years, but I'll find him. And I play it, and it's like a one-string cello that I can sort of play and record and play over the top of it. So, and hit it on the floor as well.
Cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. There's a bit of a theme at Lovebytes this year on like process, technical process and creative process, and kind of how that might impact on the finished result. Does that have any bearing on what you do at all?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've worked with Finn for a long time, and so the you know, like the process and the way we've made work, we've done visuals for his live show, and we've done made short films with him as well. And the process is really integral to like what sort of happens at the end product.
And it really is.
Yeah.
The films that we've done have been the fact that we've got a really good relationship with the visual and the music. That's really important, and the way we sort of have to be on a certain level with what we do and know what each other does and would do if they were doing it themselves. So the visual stuff that they do for my show tonight, or for our show tonight, it sounds a bit complicated, is I think it's really right, and it's what I would say. I'm really glad we came to this conclusion of what we're doing. It's not actually a conclusion. It's like we're sort of building up every time. We did it like about a couple of weeks ago, and just took what we were doing and completely broke it down and said like what would look interesting as a stage performance. It doesn't have to be sort of technical, or it doesn't have to be, but it has to look right, and we have to have the idea of what. And they sort of know what I really like about music and stuff, and the way I do it, and now I sort of know the way they would do video and stuff.
I think that this as well is really like the process is, that's what it's all about, process.
And it's what you'll see like tonight,
because that's it. I mean, we've made things with Finn before where we made a film called Ionization, and it was all, we built models, and you know, we spent ages making them out of clock parts and things.
And that was like the main bit of the project.
That's like the thing, but nobody ever saw that bit. They see the end product. So this is like a perfect excuse to let people actually see. It's not exactly like how it is if we were making a film, but it's pretty close. You know, that is how we work. We make things, we make handmade models, and we film them.
And that is really sort of process based, isn't it? And what you're seeing when we're playing will be like, and it's the same with me in music as well. Like, I'm going to play stuff, and I'll be making up as you know, I'm making it there, and I like sort of record things and then play over it, and sing as well sometimes, and in a way, and then that sort of informs what I'm going to do next. So the whole thing is like a process. If we're talking about that, the idea of doing it like, and what we're doing, I think that is really like that. Like, we're not just making stuff at home and then playing it. We're just like we're just sort of making stuff on the stage in front of people, which is a great process.
So it's a real kind of audience interaction kind of thing, just in terms of you responding to
I expect so, because like sometimes, depending on the way I'm playing at the moment, is like if I can sort of have a bit of put a few feelers about what's happening in the room, and if it's really crazy and dancey, then I'm going to make it like that, because I'm doing most of it with my mouth and the instrument.
And then in turn, like if that's the way Finn's music's going, then that'll be reflected in what we're doing. We're just reacting to whatever we hear.
Yeah.
It's like a really flexible, you know, it's like the most flexible way that we could think to do it in the way that we work. I mean, there are a million ways that you could do sort of live AV projects.
Yeah, which we've done different ways of doing it as well. Like we've done sort of video really synchy, like music happening at the same time as visuals and things like that became a bit accurate and a bit accurate in a good way, but inhibiting in that it was really structured. And now what we're doing is you'll see all the mistakes and you'll see all the, like, especially when I'm playing, you can hear me like dropping things on the floor and
yeah, you're almost like tempting things to go wrong.
Yeah, making things go wrong.
Because that's the fun bit. That's, that's
I think people, I don't know whether this is stupid or not, but I think people do like that to watch. Like, I think people want to see somebody that's like really doing something. And I don't know, you'll see when we play, it's like you can see when things are going wrong, and I can tell when they're going wrong. But then I really enjoy that. I think it's really good, and then you sort of find a way out of it, and then people are like, oh yeah, this is really interesting. And what it actually be might not be that interesting, but the fact that it's sort of come out of the struggle is, it's like watching a one-man human battle, and then these guys are doing the visuals. It's like, well, how are they going to pull it off, and what's going to happen? and then it does normally work.
I think so. Yeah.
In a way.
That's great. I think you guys are running a minute, so
yeah.
We better go.